Hello everyone, this is Wojtek and this is week number 6 in UK&I Key Awards Challenge. It's a mid-season special event, 1-hour enduro race. So we didn't have a standing start, just flying lap, and we're on the green now. Unfortunately I lost one position, Gary Fickens. Better reaction. Actually didn't plan to do that. Didn't want to attack the first position, definitely. And back on third. I'm okay with that. We have a very long race ahead of us. And there's not really need to put the pressure on myself. I will be okay on the third spot and see how the action in front of me gonna pan out. Small mistake from Gary. Qualification winner was Jamie Rushworth. I was at second spot, then Gary Fickens and Richard Wild just behind us. Looks like Jamie is putting a high pace from the start. Almost flat out, I would say. But as I planned, all I need to do is just stay in the draft and see what's gonna happen, how it's gonna play out. Bit wide in there. We really didn't practice enough. I quite often missed that apex on that turn back there. We had only 20 drivers at the start today, so it's a bit less than normally we could see in this series. I don't know if it's 1-hour endurance that put people off. Some say it was at the same time as the Canadian Grand Prix, so some people would choose to just watch the Formula 1 race. But regardless, 20 people is still a decent size of grid, definitely enough to provide a good quality racing. As we can see now, 4 drivers are formed a lead pack We are at the lap number 10, so there was no changes up front. And it looks like these 4 drivers, Jamie Rashford, Gary Fickens, myself and Richard Wild, will be fighting for the top positions in this race. Now small contact, Gary Fickens took the inside line and he managed to take the lead in this race. It was a bit of a mistake from Jamie up into turn 1 and it costed him position. As you can see at my windscreen, it's very dirty. It's actually affecting my visibility. Actually, that's what you'll get when you run closely behind other drivers. So I suppose sometimes it could be better to run in the clean air. Now just looking at Jamie's car, I think he's got a dent wheel on the right hand side at the front. You could probably see this on the right turn. Yeah, you can see there's a slight damage, probably from the contact earlier on. It looks like he's still doing good here. And now after seeing Gary pulling off a bit, pulling out, I decided I'll push a little bit harder just to try and make a move on Jamie. I don't know if his tires are overheating or maybe this damage is affecting his pace, but I decided it's the time to start some racing. Now inside line, a little bit wider for me, but I don't think it affected Jamie, because he also went a bit wide. Small contact on the left-hander and still too wide side by side. And there was a tiny bit of contact again. I made a little mistake, I went a little bit too wide. And finally the pass is completed. Now, as you could see, Gary Fickens decided to go to the pit lane, so early pit stop for him. I didn't really expect that he would take that kind of pit stop strategy, but nevertheless that's his decision. I decided to stay till about half an hour into the race just to see how much fuel I used, if I need to make any adjustments to my tactics. And this is lap number 19. I stayed on the lead. Jamie Rashford was running second till he decided he made his pit stop. But I think it was only maybe lap 17, so not as early as Gary Fickens. And right on my tail, Richard Wild, so he's proving himself in this race. Very good pace.
On the straight down to the bridge, please.
He's gonna stay out as I'm gonna heading into the pit lane now.
Yeah, right.
Speed limiter on, so I decided to take 22 liters of fuel. And And I realized a bit later on that it was a little bit risky. As I did my calculations, I decided that that kind of amount of fuel would be enough for 39 laps, and that was my prediction, that the race will take 39 laps. And on top of that, I decided to put 2 extra liters just in case. And I totally forgot about the outlap, and I might be in the trouble towards the end, but hopefully not. Out of the pit lanes, and this red car in front of us is Gary Fickens. So he worked very well after his pit stop. You could say he's a virtual leader now. But yeah, only 2 seconds behind him. On the first tires, I shouldn't have any trouble catching up to him. And I would say I will be in better situation than him, as my tires will be much fresher, less heat in them. And 1 lap later, I had no really trouble. I just reduced the gap and I'm right back on his tail again. There's obviously over more than 20 minutes to the end of the race, so plenty of more laps to be done. But nevertheless, I decided to start putting a bit of a pressure, not too much, just to see how Gary is going to react. So I'll just give you a few snapshots. Gary held it nicely. Again, same place. He decided to take defensive line, going back to the outside. And it looks like it's not this time. At this stage I'm racing 100% flat out, keeping the pressure up. One more try. Inside line, but apparently not enough straight line speed. Probably wing settings are different here again. So we're gonna have to wait a little bit more to make some more significant move. Gary went a little bit loose there, but really no room to go around him. And I believe this is the time when I will be able to complete this pass. Into the right-hander, and he decided to take the inside line. Gary didn't really defend it, and it's actually, I didn't realize earlier on, it's a really good passing point, as you take the inside line and the truck keeps going to the right hand side, you just go by side with no trouble, and there was really no much racing after that. I had no trouble staying in the lead. Even had to save a bit of a fuel towards the end, so but still no trouble taking a win in this race. So my first win in this series, and I'm very happy with that. So Gary Fickens on second, and in the third place was Jamie Rashworth. Hope you see you guys next week. Keep watching, and I'll see you again.